Hello and welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
All right. It's time. It's Monday, April 8th, 2024. Thanks for tuning in. We're watching the Total Eclipse live with the Emil Bueller Perpetual Trust Planetarium, among other special guests. How are we doing out there today?
Doing great.
All right.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Fantastic. It is completely clear right along the path to totality here. It is it's wild. I could say it's wild.
All right. So we've got several special guests joining us today with footage from across the U.S. So I'm Nicole from the library. I'm a librarian. Derek Demeter, the director of the planetarium, asked myself and another librarian, he's right down here, Information Jason Antonson, to join today to bring you some great information, some great subject matter experts. Librarians love information and we love improving access to it. So, of course, we have subject matter experts, astronomy, space, all those things. We're not the experts, but we've got them here. We've got, of course, Derek Demeter, the director of the planetarium, getting lots of shout outs in the comments. We've got Isabel Chauftin representing CFAS, the Central Florida Astronomical Society. We also have Sharife Gassel joining us, among other things, from the Central Florida Astronomical Society, and John Pinto down there. Hi, John. John, where are you today? Turn on your mic.
I am just outside of Adirondacks National Park in New York, about 50 miles south of Plattsburgh, New York.
Okay, so we have Florida, Arkansas, Texas. Now, Sharife, you're over there in Texas, but it's not the greatest weather.
It is not. It's not. It's completely cloudy, but that's okay because I'm in front of a Falcon 9 rocket booster, which is very cool. There's tons of activities going on in Space Center Houston. There's all different activities, like the art projects going on, different kids activities, and there's I'm going to take you for a tour later on of the space shuttle Independence on top of the 747 that transported it and everything. So definitely cool stuff going on despite the weather being cloudy.
Okay. And Isabel, you are on the other side of town here. We're at Seminole State College of Florida in Sanford Lake Mary, Florida, and you are in Orlando, closer to Disney World. Is that right?
Yes, so I am south of you guys, and so far we have clear skies, which it's great because they were announcing all kinds of clouds, so we're very happy, and the sun looks great already, so we're ready for not a total eclipse here where we are, a partial, about 57 to 58% at maximum obscuration, around 3:05 our time, but it's going to be great.
Okay. And Derek, you had said the weather's looking great. You made it all the way up to Quitman, Arkansas.
Yes, it was a quite epic journey, about 15 hours nonstop driving. Me and my wife, we got in a minivan, got all of our equipment, headed on up here, and couldn't be any better. In fact, we just got to first contact. There is a little bit of eclipse of the sun currently right now. So if we can go ahead and show that footage.
First contact with the eclipse.
There we go. You can see just a little bit of the moon is slowly moving its way towards the center line. So right now, roughly about 1:51 Eastern time or 12:51 our time, we are going to have a total solar eclipse. I am going to be very excited. Right now I have 3 cameras set up. This is our live view camera. We also have another camera set up that is going to be taking images. There was a script that I created that will allow me to essentially run the camera to take several different photographs over time to make sure that we're able to get that. So right when we get close to totality, I'm going to have to hop around. I have to take the solar filter off in order to actually capture those moments. But so it's going to be a little bit of a wild ride right when we get to totality, but I'll have the view here on the telescope, so it cannot be any cooler.
Okay. Now, a quick housekeeping note for everyone that's watching wherever you may be, and for today, but also any day that the sun is out. Warning, only look at the sun or the eclipse if you have the proper ISO eclipse glasses, okay? So if you do not have the proper eyewear, do not look at the sun any day of the year, especially on the day of the eclipse when everyone is so excited about this celestial phenomenon. Looking at the sun could result in damage to your eyes, including blindness. So again, we repeat, do not look at the sun or the eclipse unless you have the proper ISO eclipse glasses, and there are directions on those glasses for exactly how long, like a duration of how long you could use them to look towards the sun. We just want to make sure that everyone's being safe and responsible out there. All right. Also, as we said, we're from the Seminole State College of Florida, the planetarium. That's where that's located. And we have somebody else special joining us. I'm looking for them down here. Oh, he popped away. We had Professor Sean Greeny, one of the science professors. I know, maybe he'll pop back in. He's over at the planetarium, and they will be having the sun spotter out to look at the view of the eclipse safely. So if you are in Sanford, Florida, and you want to head over to the planetarium on the Sanford Lake Mary campus of Seminole State College, you're welcome to do so.
Can I add something, Nicole?
Absolutely.
So we have a couple of other science communicators, awesome experts of science. I'm trying to. My brain is literally eclipsing right now. But we have some awesome people here that will be joining in from here while I kind of attend to some of my camera equipment, make sure everything's running fine. We have Carl Darden with the Orlando Science Center, and we have Terry Johnson, who is actually, him and his family were kind enough to allow us to be here today on top of this mountain here in Arkansas to get this this experience. So he's going to come on here. He's also a physics teacher at a local high school. So he'll be here to kind of talk about some stuff too while I'm kind of roaming around. So you won't just see me here, you'll see other people as well.
Awesome. Okay, and as we're getting started, and if you're watching on YouTube and comment, there are a lot of students from local elementary schools, middle schools, high schools in the area, as well as across the nation, people from all over the country. We have some elementary school students at one of our local schools here in Sanford, Florida. Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School.
All
They
right.
Yes, in historic Goldsboro area of Sanford, and they sent some questions. And let's answer a couple of those really quick because I feel like they're definitely going to apply to what we're going to see here and learn about today. So first up is Ria from Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School. A really straight up question. We need to talk about this.
Hi, I'm Ria, and I was wondering, what is a solar eclipse?
A basic one, right? What is a solar eclipse?
Well, I can answer that question, but Nicole, can we put on the live stream right now of the eclipse? Because we have even more of the moon eclipsing the sun right now. You can see that over time we're starting to see the moon, and that's exactly what's happening with a solar eclipse. Basically, at certain times of the year, the orbit of the Earth, Sun, and Moon are lined up in the right way to where the moon literally passes in front of the sun at this right moment. Now, normally, this can only happen during a new moon, when the moon is basically right in front of the Earth in its orbit, and we don't see the moon normally because the light is reflected away. But normally, it's either above or below the sun, so we don't see an eclipse. But every now and then, those things all line up. And then today is a special day where the moon literally covers the sun. And we're going to see that here.
Fabulous. I have another quick question from Sahana at Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School.
Hi, I'm Sahana, and I have a question. Why can't we look at the solar eclipse with our eyes?
Got to know about that too. Why? I mean,
Right.
I feel like it has something to do with the fact that the sun, it's an average size star, but it's still a pretty big star, right? It's pretty bright.
It has a magnitude of -27, and what that means in astronomy means it is very bright, and you definitely do not want to stare at that. The other thing you're going to experience too is there's a lot of ultraviolet radiation as well, so that can actually damage your eyes as well. But we have these special eclipse glasses that have this stuff called mylar on it, and it actually reflects 99.9% of the light away. It gets rid of it, and only letting in just a small, tiny, itty-bitty fraction of light of the sun, making it super safe for us to see the sun. Now, all the UV light is scattered away as well, so you will not hurt your eyes, but unfortunately, we cannot see it without these glasses, except, and I say except, during totality. So here in Arkansas, we're going to be in the path of totality. That is where the sun is going to completely block, or excuse me, the moon is going to completely block the sun. And when the moon completely blocks the sun, there's enough light to allow us to safely look at it. During those 4 minutes of totality, that is the only time we can safely look at it. So you'll see probably during totality, I'm going to get a little wild and I'm going to get excited. I have a pair of binoculars. Actually, this is a safe time to actually even use a pair of binoculars to view the sun. There's a lot of cool phenomenon that happen during a totality. You get the corona, you get these things called prominences. So that's the only time. Otherwise, even during a partial eclipse, like what Isabel is watching today on her side, only 59%, you cannot not stop looking at the sun with those glasses. You have to always have those glasses on at all time.
Derek Neelab, also from GEMS from Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School. I hear you saying the word totality a lot. He has a question.
Hi, my name is Nalab, and I was wondering, what does totality mean?
So this is called a total solar eclipse. What that means is that totality, the entire moon covers the sun in totality. So again, in Florida, we're only going to see a half of the moon pass by the sun, leaving kind of a crescent moon, kind of like what you're seeing here. It's going to be a little bit more. When we get to about 59%, I will show you that's what it's going to look like from max eclipse from Florida. But here in Arkansas, we're going to have the entire moon in totality eclipse the sun. And that's what that totality means, in totality.
Now, right here, this is Derek's footage in Arkansas. Oh, yes, Isabel.
I can interrupt you. The moon is starting to bite on my side.
All right.
Oh,
if you want to share that view.
There we go.
A little bit of itty bitty bite in. Oh, itty bitty bite in the bottom. Sorry. There you go. It has started.
This is really cool because I'm a little bit further west than Isabel is, and that means that the shadow is literally traveling across the United States, and
Yeah.
so there is this delay in time. And I know John Pinto here; he's over in New York. He's going to get it later than us. So
Right.
basically, if I was like the Flash and I could run as fast as I could literally chase the eclipse all the way to New York and actually see it for like an hour of time. It's pretty wild. But it's still moving pretty fast across the surface of the Earth.
Okay, and speaking of John, who is in New York right now, John, we talked yesterday, and you said you had to wake up bright and early to head that way. So, let me remove that. John, how was the trip to your spot that you're at right now?
So we left a little bit later than I really wanted to. Originally, we're thinking about 6, but we ended up leaving at 7. And luckily, it was a reasonable travel. It was basically rush hour, so we hit some rush hour traffic, but I thought it was going to be a lot worse. So we really lucked out.
Okay, so it wasn't like a complete melee. It was not that busy and crazy. That's good to hear, because I've been seeing a lot of news stories.
Yeah, I was expecting
Okay.
the thruway, New York thruway, to be basically shut down with all the traffic, but luckily we got here maybe before it started.
Okay. And Sharife, I'm bringing you back on because you are in Houston, Texas. Okay, so tell us a little bit about where you are. You're at the Johnson Space Center.
I am. I'm at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, and I'm standing in front of Space Center Houston. So inside behind me, you see the Space Shuttle Independence on top of the 747 that helped transport it from place to place. The crowds, we're going to be at about 92, and you might hear the announcements behind me. I'm going to see if I can move out of the way a little bit so you guys can get a good sound bite. Let me see if I can flip the camera around so you can see some of the crowds that have turned up. And I hear some cheering, which is kind of cool. You see the sun a little bit, but not enough.
Okay.
You're cheering and you hear people that are booing with the sun come out. But we're going to be at about 92 to 93% totality. I'm just going to kind of be walking around in front of the Falcon 9 booster and see if I can do a time lapse in a little bit. And yeah, that's basically it. You see some of the crowds over here.
Now, on a perfect weather day, Sharife, you would be sharing some footage from a device that actually John and Isabel, who are joining us today, are using. I'm going to screen share really quick. It's called the Sea-Star Astronomical Telescope. I can't tell you all the details about it, but this is something that we want our viewers to know about, because if you are an aspiring astronomer, an astro enthusiast, this telescope is something that's designed for the layperson or somebody who's not a literal astronomer to use pretty easily. And also the cost is somewhat obtainable versus some of our more expensive telescopes that we would find at our local planetarium or other places like that. Okay, I see here there's some excitement where Sharifa is. Okay, we're going to mute. Isabel and John, I know you use, and you're using this today. This is where your footage is coming from. And I'm actually going to pop back up Isabel's view. Can you tell us a little bit about that Sea-Star telescope?
Yeah, so the Sea-Star telescope, first of all, I want to mention that I got mine because John got one. So thank you, John. This little telescope is basically a pocket telescope. It's just, it's very light. You can carry it under your arm. You can actually carry it on board on a plane and travel with it. It has a focal length of 250 millimeters and an aperture of 50 millimeters. So basically it will make things look like 5 times what they are. It's great for solar viewing. It's great for DSO, deep sky object viewing. Not so great for planetary because of the focal length and the aperture. So the resolution is not that good, but for anything that is deep sky like galaxies and nebula, it's just amazing what this little telescope can do with being so little. So one of the aspects that is very interesting for deep sky object observing is that it has integrated in its software stacking process. What is stacking? When you look into a telescope and you look at a beautiful picture, all the beautiful pictures that you see with colors and a lot of light and nebula and everything like that, you can't really see that with your own eye because number one, you don't have the correct filters in your eyes because your eyes can only see certain wavelengths. For example, anything that is like hydrogen or oxygen, which is red or blue, you can't really see that with your own eye. So the telescope does that for you. It has an integrated filter. And what it does is it takes shots every 10 seconds, every 20 seconds, or 30 seconds, you can choose. And then you can decide to be on a target for like an hour. And so for an hour, every 10 seconds, it will take a 10-second shot. And so at the end, you're going to end up with 360 shots of the same target, and you're going to stack all those pictures together. There's a whole process that it's done inside. You can also take the sub pictures and stack them yourself in a software if you're a little more familiar with that. And then in the end, you get a great picture where the ratio of the light, the data that you accumulated versus the noise that you get when you look at something and you take pictures is getting better and better as you stack more and more and more pictures.
Okay, and again, and Isabel is sharing. This is her footage from the Sea Star. Here's Isabel's footage from Central Florida.
The great thing is I can show you what it can do for solar. It can also basically right now I'm taking a video as we speak, so I'm taking the video of the eclipse. I can take pictures, I can take a time lapse as well. I'm going to stop my video and quickly I'm going to go to ×2, and you're going to see that I can even do a close-up on the sun, and I can even do a ×4, and I can get even closer on that sunspot.
Wow.
So it's really cool. It's a really cool device for the price that, is very, very, it's fairly affordable.
Now,
I didn't hear the price. What was the price, Nicole? How many can we buy?
I know Jason is the numbers man. It's about $500. So not super cheap, but again, Derek, how much does the telescope cost that is at the planetarium at Seminole State College of Florida on Sanford Lake Mary campus?
Well, the question is, which telescope is the most expensive? Because we have lots of telescopes. We are filled with telescopes. I want to correct something real quick because I just realized, again, 3 different cameras all trying to run. I want to make sure everything works perfectly. Totality here in Arkansas is 1:51 our time, so 2:51 Eastern Daylight Time. I think I said it as 12:51. So I apologize for that. So it's going to be 2:51 your time in Florida or 1:51 our time here. But our most expensive telescope that we have is roughly around $5,000 or so. But we have a lot of abilities to do live streams and do similar things too. But we're actually working on. We actually love the Sea Star so much too that we're actually thinking about getting one as well. And we want to use that for kind of more off the beaten path astronomy, where we take you on kayak trips or we hike or we take you to a dark sky location and do these private night sky tours. So the Sea Star is an amazing piece of technology, especially for the price, that even for somebody like me who has a lot of different telescopes, it's always good to have that kind of style telescope in your inventory.
John, do you want to show us? You were showing us a view of the Sea Star in person. You want to flip your camera and show us again? I got you highlighted.
Yep.
Okay, there it is. Very portable.
Very extremely, as Isabel said, you can take it on a plane. Reefay just flew to Texas with it. Go through security. It's all good. And my Sea Star is sending its image to.
All right, John, we got you breaking up a little bit there. I'm going to highlight one of our Seminole State professors that's joining us today, Mr. Sean Greeny. He's on the SLM campus. Professor Greeny, has a crowd gathered? You got the sun spotter out. How's our connectivity? We're having some connectivity. Hey, Sean. All right. So we've got some spotty audio, but there we see a view on the Sanford Lake Mary campus. We've got some.
He's traveling at the speed of light right now.
Okay, that explains it. That explains
he's traveling
sound and light. Which one comes
Yeah,
first?
yeah.
Chicken or the egg?
Light comes first, sound comes after. But he's traveling so fast that his sound is finally catching up with him. You know.
You're hearing it from an expert, from a subject matter expert here. All right, let's take a look back at Derek at your footage in.
Yeah. So we are getting closer to kind of what the max view of the Eclipse in Florida. We're about probably somewhere between 30% now, if I were to guess. But we're going to slowly see a couple of things here. We're going to see over time more and more of that sun is going to be eclipsed. Everything's going well so far. We have good weather. In fact, right now we're getting everybody some Arnold Palmers. Terry's family has been gracious enough to give us amazing their hospitality. So it couldn't ask for any better experience here.
Nice. All right, let's look back at Isabel's footage. Again, this is now in Lake Buena Vista by Disney World here in Orlando, Florida, and Central Florida.
It's starting to look really cool.
Okay. John, what are you seeing right now?
Our partial doesn't start until about 2:15, so we got about another 15 minutes to go.
Okay.
And again, that's an example of how he's much further east than I am, and even Isabel, he's a little bit further east, so that time delay is happening.
All right. So let's look at some of the people that are joining us today. I know, Derek, I'm running the chat for the planetarium. Everyone's like, "Hi, Derek," and I'm like, "Hello." I'm an imposter.
Hey, everybody! There's a lot of people on this live stream. All right, hey, team Eclipse, Eclipse.
Yeah. So we have the Florida Institute for Community Inclusion of Vito joining us. Derek, you've got a lot of fans out here in Central Florida. We've got John.
All right.
Happy to see my friend Derek.
Hey, John.
We got
Laura Ross, past VP of Academic Affairs here at Seminole State College. So
perhaps. Okay.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Yeah.
And we also have Jeff, our intramural sports director. He does a lot of things here at Seminole State College. He's watching as well. Allie, and we've got a yeet. I think a yeet is a good thing.
I know that gentleman. I know that gentleman, and he is quite a gentleman fellow, and he likes to yeet at things. That's just how he rolls. That's how he rolls. And he knows. He also knows a special word that he and I share. It's actually one of my best friends I've known since kindergarten that said the yeet. So shout out to Neil there. Brothers forever. Brothers forever.
All right. We've got people from the Netherlands. Okay. So thanks for joining us again. So, all right. So who's first on the list? I have that Isabel, that Central Florida is like, that's like the first time that we're going to see some kind of change in the atmosphere. And then Sharife, Derek, again, the path of totality, it varies from where you are. I think I have a little map here. I'm going to share that really quick. Where is that? Okay, so this is obviously not a detailed map, but you can see this is what we're talking about. It actually has that 2017 path, but here, 2024, okay? So we're down here in Florida, but here is where that totality is. Again, as Derek explained, that the sun will be completely blocked. So Derek, when that happens for you, where you are in Arkansas, are we literally going to see we're literally going to see the sky get dark around you? Is that the case?
So roughly around 89%, 90%, it's going to look like it's getting a little darker. About 95%, the color is, I'm going to go steampunk with this. I'm going to go 19th century photography. It's almost going to kind of get a sepia toned, warmer light to me because we're losing more light of the sun. And then at 100%, you might not even see my face. It might be completely, darkened by the sun, or the moon, I should say. So yeah, so if you're watching my feed here, you'll notice it's very, very bright still right now. But when we get to that 80%, you're going to start to see that there's clearly a change in the brightness.
Okay. So I have a question for our experts here. I had been seeing on my Google News feed a lot of articles about that the path changed. It was adjusted, as you can see here. Did the path change? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not a subject matter expert. Can you like kind of help us sort this out? Like, what was that about? Did you hear about this? Is this some like fake news or myth information?
Well, you know, if any of you are, oh, sorry, somebody's gonna, Isabel, do you want to get it? I think that was you that talked.
No.
We need to start raising our hand. All right.
Sorry, I was adjusting my. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Okay.
So what usually happens is that there was a situation. It's kind of, you know, like Snopes.com. There's like some of it's true, some of it's not true, and that's essentially is what's happening here. Is the outer edges of the eclipse have shifted a little bit. We're talking only a few, like 1 or 2 miles in difference. That's because of they didn't. There has been the sun itself pulsates. It actually gets bigger and smaller a little bit due to the pulsations in the sun. And so what happens is the sun's just a little bit bigger than what they predicted. So that has shifted the center line or the path by a little bit. But if you're in the path of totality for the most part, you're going to see it. And so if you're like right on that border between the path of totality, you might just want to move a little bit, but really it hasn't changed that much. It's not as elaborate as some of those articles were saying. So
okay, because I was snipping it out because obviously I've been talking a lot. Jason is here. He's another librarian, and we always talk about sifting and sorting information. Things that we find on the internet, we need to pay close attention and sift and figure out, like, should we really believe it? Should we talk to someone that knows more about this topic? Should we look for more articles that are similar and see if they say the same thing? Because some of these articles were using emotional language by saying, hey, you might have been in the path of totality, but now your town might not be. It was like kind of shocking. They presented it in a shocking way. So thank you. I definitely wanted to myth bust that a little bit because I was like, what? I was like, I need to get Derek on the line. Like, where's Derek? All right.
Well, like anything, I mean, a lot of these articles, there are some truths to it, but unfortunately, you know, the thing is that a lot of these articles, especially ones that are trying to sound realistic, will have some truths in it, but there won't be a full understanding on it. So that's actually something we talk about in our research rallies and stuff when we get together, is making sure that when you're reading an article that, you know, even some of these articles that may be false still have some truth understanding, but you want to question yourself, does that make sense to you? You know, let me dig in deeper and all that and see it from all sides of the coin.
Okay, so we've had some questions already from our local school kids. Well, guess what? When our local school teacher, Mr. Robert Wakeland's on the line here. Let's pop him in here. What's going on, Mr. Wakeland?
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
I'm actually
What's
with
up?
a first grade class right now. And we've been working on talking about the eclipse. We're actually watching you guys live as well. And we actually have the video going on. And I wanted to have one of my friends that is working on the little model. Say hi, Trip.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Show them what you did here with this, with a cup. Show them.
So we made
Oh, very cool.
Oh, look at that. That's really
That's so
clever.
cool.
Wow, so it spins. Nice.
Nice.
So, Mr. Wakeland, you and the kids, you are going to be able to go outside later. Is that correct?
Our 3rd through 5th graders will go outside and we'll jump back on then, and so you guys can see what's going on and the excitement that they have during that. So we'll catch you in a little bit.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay. Awesome. So, Sharife, what's going on? Anything new going on over there?
Yeah, it looks like we're getting little pockets of light. Definitely won't be huge or whatever, but yeah. I think there we go. My internet is kind of spotty, but yeah, I want to go see if we can get the sea star. out here, see if we can get some pockets of light that are coming out, and maybe get some images with the Sea-Star telescope, the same one that John and Isabel have. I don't know. We're going to be getting, I think, maximum that will be here at about 93%, at about 140 is what they'd said. So in about 5 or so minutes, I'm going to start seeing if I can get some images, and I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay, yeah, definitely wave and holler so we don't miss
Yeah,
that.
for sure. Sure.
Now, Sharife, you have literally the coolest. You have literally the coolest place to watch the eclipse.
You know, most clouds,
right?
but coolest views. Come on, right? There was a T-38. I was so happy there was a T-38 that just flew over. I was on mute, but it was like, yeah, cool.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I have the rockets behind me, and there's a Saturn V building back there. Not similar to a little bit different orientation stuff to the one in Kennedy Space Center, which you guys, if you're in Central Florida, get a chance to go out there if you haven't already. Definitely go check it out. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharife.
Hey, wait, what are you doing, sir? Excuse me, what are you doing? I'm right here. Get over. Okay. Well, hey, this gentleman right here, this is Carl Darden. I'm gonna let him jump in for a hot second, representing me, and he's gonna help out. I'm gonna check out some of my gear here. So take it away, Carl.
Hey, Jason.
Whoa.
While we're waiting for hey, Carl.
Hi.
Look, Jason. Look, John showed up. John's saying Derek better shout out to John. Is John Gillen saying Derek better shout out to John Gillen? Oh, you're on mute, Jason.
I'm contemplating, Nicole. Is that what that means? Is that what that means?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh no, wait, but
when
John's on
Derek
the
comes
call.
back.
John's
What's
on the
that?
call. He's saying shout out to John, and John's on the call. Right?
All right,
Isn't John
so-
right there? Nicole, that's John right there.
I-
John, wave. Can you hear us? I think he's saying shout out to John.
To John Pinto? Okay. All right, so I'm sorry, I got distracted. So we have Derek, local school teacher. What's your name again? Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud
Yep.
and clear.
All right, great. I'm Carl Darden, and I work at the Orlando Science Center, and I'm a good longtime friend of Derek's.
Awesome, and that's why you just pop you in the stream. Carl, we have a question from Bryson at Goldsboro Elementary School. I bet you could probably answer this question.
Hi, I'm Bryson. I was wondering, why are solar eclipses so rare?
Okay, so why are solar eclipses so rare?
If we haven't talked about it already, it's an alignment of 3 different celestial objects. And those are the sun, naturally, the moon, and the earth. The earth is a celestial object. We don't think of it that way, but it is. And those 3 objects do not line up all the time because everything is moving around in space. And every orbit has its different inclinations, and it moves around. So to line it all up, everything is lined up. That's a rare occurrence.
All right, thank you, Carl, and thank you, Bryson from Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School. All right, let's take a peek. It's been a few minutes. Here's Derek's view, or Carl's view, in Arkansas. It's getting close. Then over here in Central Florida, Isabel's view on that Sea-Star. Okay.
I went to look at it with the glasses, and it's starting to look nice with the glasses by themselves too. So.
Okay. So if you have again those glasses and you want to take a peek, you can start doing that now. So we go Derek's footage in Arkansas. John Pinto, do you have any footage?
Not yet, but about 5 more minutes.
Okay. All right. 5 more minutes. All right. So I think I'm going to ask our viewers that are watching right now, do you already happen to know when the next total eclipse will occur? Okay. So I'll type that in. Do you know when the next total eclipse will occur? It's going to be a while.
You
So
mean
shout it
here,
out in the comments if you,
here in the U.S.
in the United States. Correct.
Because
That's right.
because
Okay.
in the world it's not so far from now. So
Oh, okay. All right. Something like 40 years from now. 2044. Does that check out?
almost.
2045. Okay.
2045 is what I've been hearing.
Okay. Awesome. So again today, Monday, April 8th, 2024. This is a very special event, very rare as Carl explained to us.
But if you want to travel to Spain, the next one will be in 2026.
Okay, and you're probably going to have to start booking your tickets now because I know that
Yes.
right? Carl, when did you have to book your like where you were going to stay? Like when did you start making preparations from where you're at right now in Arkansas for this total eclipse?
I've been flying by the seat of my pants for about a week, and I could not get reservations as soon as I needed to have them. So I actually came into the area yesterday without having reservations. I paid a goodly sum for a hotel room last night. Let's just put it that way. So make reservations.
Okay, well in advance. Awesome. All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Carl.
I was waiting to see whether we were going to have clear skies or not. And so I was hedging my bets on where I was going to go. So I knew that Derek was going to be here. When it looked like it was going to be clear skies, I went ahead and made the leap of faith that it was going to be clear skies and I could make it out here. So
awesome. Well, I see we've got, I'm going to solo lay out John Pinto, who's in New York State. Just checking out what you got going on there, John. I know it's coming up really close on.
I'm right now repowering up my phone, so just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right. So while we're waiting for John, we had another question from one of the students at Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School from Victoria.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I wonder, when is the first recorded solar eclipse?
Now, as a librarian, I looked this up, but I'm wondering if anybody else on the stream happens to know, or anybody watching, if you know, pop it in the comments.
Well, and
Isabel, do you know?
Nicole, that
Jason?
was a very broad question because it wasn't the United States. It could have been anywhere in the world. And from my preliminary research, it was on petroglyphs on some walls and some caves and some mountains somewhere. But that's going way, way back. The first one in the U.S., Nicole, or the world? Can you specify?
Well, hey, I mean, I don't. We would have to specify if this was our research question. I Googled, and I started with Google because, hey, I'm a librarian. I do go to the databases, but I do like a good Googling. I looked for like anywhere, and I found it. It was in before in BCE, right? What?
I'm sorry, Nicole. I didn't even hear you because I was focused on Derek, eclipsing.
Nicole, did you get November 30th, 3340 BCE? Is that what you got?
How did they go? You know what? You know why Derek is able to eclipse so well? Because it's Derek the Astro. It's Derek the Astro Boy. He's the Astro Boy. He's out here eclipsing everyone.
That's right. Don't you forget it. So here's a couple. So if you ever want to go back to my share here, It is actually surprisingly cooler now. It's almost like around middle morning. Is a little bit of a breeze, cooler breeze, not as hot as it was even 10 minutes ago. And that is really, really, really fun to experience because I'm starting to experience the effects of the eclipse even before totality.
How many degrees is it expected to drop? I had seen like 5 and 10 degrees usually in a path of totality. Is that accurate?
It all depends on how much humidity is in the air. So right now we're kind of not too bad with the humidity, so it might drop about 10 degrees. That's something that we didn't actually think of, is putting a thermometer out and actually recording the temperature. I could see if I can get a thermometer out here to kind of record that. Unless you are recording are you recording? No, okay. I didn't know if Kyle had any temperature going on there in the background there, but that is actually.
What are some of the effects that you're feeling, Derek? Can you walk us through that? Because Nicole and I were researching that there are some folks who are a little scared or have a fear of, the sun going away and what happens in that interval. So when you touched on it a moment ago, can you elaborate? What are you feeling?
Actually sitting out here in the direct sunlight for almost 2 hours, it actually feels really good that the temperature's dropping a little bit. That's about it. Nothing else to it. It's just the moon is covering the sun. And there's nothing really else to it that's going to affect the Earth or anything like that. So really the only thing that I'm going to really sense from this, other than looking at this awesome eclipse, is the temperature. And there might be some birds, or you might see some birds, there might be some mosquitoes. There were mosquitoes here earlier, so I was joking earlier that we might have mosquitoes show up all of a sudden.
They have already here.
Oh, okay. Well,
this is crazy. I've got like 3 mosquitoes around me. I'm like, what?
Just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Okay, here's Isabel. Here's your footage where you're at.
Ooh.
And let's compare that to in Florida, and then comparing that to where Derek is in Arkansas.
And usually mosquitoes come at night, and during the day we never see them. And right now I'm not going to say I'm surrounded, but I've had 3 that have been trying to attack me already. So I need a weapon. But I come prepared.
Oh, she's ready. All right.
Yeah. Thankfully, here in Arkansas, it hasn't been too bad with the bugs during the day, but at night you start to see a lot of moths, a lot of, we saw on the way up here, we saw some fireflies. I'm hoping maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see some fireflies out here. So I'm kind of excited about that.
I know, and we will at that moment we will be able to see, because you have your laptop set up with your camera. So I'm looking forward to that to see.
That's the other thing too, is that once we get close to totality, I'm going to switch to a more zoomed in view, because there are going to be some really cool things that are going to be happening right around totality. There's going to be the surface of the moon is not going to be is not smooth. So the craters and valleys on the moon on the edge are going to allow for little peeps of light from the sun. We call those Bailey's beads. We'll be able to see some of the prominences, these large plumes of gas that are being uplifted off the sun's surface, be exposed. And so there's supposed to be some really cool things that are going to happen very close to totality. So
wonderful.
I think we've seen John. John is starting to happen.
Okay.
He's showing it now. And could you, Derek, talk about the orientation of the moon? Because you can see that on John's, the moon is coming in at a different angle.
Yeah, it's all about the orientation of the camera. For me, it's just the way the camera is set on my telescope. If I were to rotate the camera around, it would be in a different angle. Right now, if I look at it physically right now, the moon is coming from a south, kind of like a southern on the left, it's coming from the right side of the sun and heading upward towards the top of the sun. So it's starting at the bottom and working up. And that's what the orientation is here in the northern hemisphere, what we would see during this actual eclipse.
Okay.
So mine's actually pretty accurate to what I'm seeing with my eyes.
Right. I think what happens is one is showing it to this camera, so it's flipping the image. That's why.
And Nicole, we're getting that confirmation for the chat there. Do you see Neil M's comment? Totality over the Mexico at the moment. Yeah. So if we're getting that timeline there, there's our check-in. Thanks, Neil.
Nice. That's creeping in on us. It's happening. All right. So popping back to Derek's. This is Arkansas.
You got a nice optical illusion going on. You know when you see one of those things on the websites and say, "Can you see this thing wired away? What's your IQ?" Do you see the half? Do you see the half sun, or do you?
Are you
You know those things? That's what this feels like. It's an exercise.
All right. So we're waiting on seeing what John's looking at. Add back Isabel's footage. Why? It's getting weird.
Yeah, we got.
It's not the clip. I promise.
And don't try to wipe the gunk off of your camera screen there, your computer screen. Those are sunspots, right? Those are supposed to be there, right? Those are not blemishes on your computer.
They are.
We got Sean back over here at SLM.
Yay! Hi, Sean.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes.
Oh wow, that actually works now all of a sudden.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
we've got
if you're
about
sitting
15,
still.
people outside here.
Yeah, take a peek around. Let's see the vibe over there on the Sanford Lake Mary campus at the planetarium.
Sean, are you taking good care of the planetarium while I'm gone here at?
Don't set fire to it, Derek. I was going to tell you later.
Oh no!
Zinger! You don't have to come back next week.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
Derek, I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Derek.
Yes, of
So,
course. Yeah, go for it.
An average sunspot, how long does it last?
Oh, sunspots can last between days, hours, and even weeks. It all depends on what's fueling the sunspot, how energetic the sunspot area is. So magnetic fields actually are what causing the sunspots to form. And if there's a lot of activity going on, the movements of those magnetic fields, the sunspots can last quite a while. But most of the time, on average, sunspots last between a few days to a week or so.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, John. How's it looking over there? Just wave me down when we need to show your footage, okay? When we need to highlight it. Oh, here, we'll highlight it right now.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell whether you can see the sun in the tablet or you're just seeing the reflection of the sky in the tablet.
Yeah, I can definitely see yes, definitely both.
Okay.
So
Good.
maybe if you move the camera like a little bit closer to the tablet, we can see what that does, but or maybe if you had like something to block the light behind you, like put your jacket over your head or something like that, we get creative.
John, try to pat your head and rub your stomach.
Yeah, right.
At the same time, that might just
Well, to be fair, the man is John. You're kind of on like a little like off ramp,
Oh,
right? Or
I am sitting in the rest area. Yeah.
Yeah. So
now
I
we
mean,
can just see the beautiful umbrella.
I think
no, thank you, umbrella person. Thank you, but no, thank you.
Hey, listen, John. His whole family is with him, and so they're
go around, and see who's here that may want to say what they're experiencing when we get closer to Totality.
Yes, absolutely, John. Please do that.
So we are almost. Where are we at, Kyle, on Totality? Well, I mean, amount of Totality. 60%. So 60%. So this is what Florida is going to be experiencing, not too long from now. This is the roughly around the max. And for those that are Isabel and Sean, is it actually getting a little cooler outside for you all? Is it a little cooler?
A little, but it's hard to tell because we also have some wind. So, but the luminosity is going down for sure. It's less bright.
Sean,
Definitely.
what about you? Sean, you're on mute. Does the temperature feel different outside?
I don't remember. Sorry, hold on. I was getting asked a question.
No worries.
We're sitting at about probably about 25% here right now. It's got another 30 minutes or so before we get totality. We got a bunch more people out here, so we're looking about 30, 40 people now.
Nice.
Yeah. And the temperature, are you feeling any cooler? Is it feeling any cooler from where you are? Or?
No, Derek, you know I don't feel temperature like that. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, there we
No, I
go.
can hear it.
Oh, nice.
Is that it? Is that it? Oh, that's just a little sign.
We
I
thought,
got totally
we
freaked
thought
out.
it. We thought. False alarm. The obstruction has not occurred yet.
I apologize. That was my miss. I missed that whole thing. When you flashed that, I thought that was the Okay.
We're not subject matter experts, Jason. Right?
I botched that one. My bad. That's my bad.
Yeah, so what this is, unfortunately, I can't really show it off here, but if you actually were to point this towards the sun, you'll get little shadows casted of what the eclipse will look like. So this is, you can do this at home. You can punch little holes in a piece of paper, or you can what was that? I don't know. You can use a calendar or anything of that nature. So that's something that you can do at home, and you don't even have to look at the sun with glasses. You could actually just view the sun through a bunch of punch holes.
Hey, we have a viewer
Oh,
question.
here we go. Good one. Yeah, subject matter experts. Why is the sun appearing orange in the photos? The students want to know.
So the types of filter material kind of reflect and absorb a certain light colors of light. So for mine, there's a little bit extra of a kind of a white color going on there, but other filters kind of filter out a little bit more of the blues, the reds, and you get more of an orangey, or not blues, reds, the blues, the purples, and greens, and so you're usually left with like the yellows, oranges, and reds. And so depending on how much that filter actually reflects out versus absorption will depend on the color that you see from the sun.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ramona. Good question too, and hi to all the students watching. Yes, these are really fun and exciting questions. Why is that ... Today's the day we get to explore.
All right, we got somebody looking out. I just walk up and down the street in Orlando to hand out my extra glasses. Thank you, Sarah Nicholas. Good looking out.
Yeah.
Oh, and also we can go ahead and say happy birthday to Daytona Fit Mom's mom. Happy birthday, Daytona Fit Mom's mom.
Daytona Fit Mom. What a great birthday present. Or as we say in astronomy, happy solar orbit day. You will travel another 586 million miles roughly for the next birthday there. So keep it up. I have a buddy of mine here, Terry Johnson. Again, him and his family were so generous to let us be on this property here to view this. So I'm going to let Terry come on here for a few seconds to talk about.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, gang, this is fantastic. We are about 20 minutes away from totality at this moment. The sky is actually turning purple. The ground is looking a little more orange. The shadows are becoming a little more crisp over about the next 10 minutes or so. The shadows should become crisp enough that it actually starts freaking with our minds. And so we're looking forward to that. The weather's still kind of a little warm today. We're in the upper 70s. It's starting to drop off a little bit, so I'm kind of excited to see that go down a little more.
Upper 70s warm? Jason, did you hear that? Upper 70s warm? I don't think so.
No, I'm trying to compute here. That does not compute.
Here.
Thank you, Terry.
Oh, you bet. The fact is, the weather right now could not be more perfect for this. I mean, somehow this is really working out. South of here, I can actually see clouds south of here. I don't know how far north of here we get back into clouds again, but for this moment, the sky over us is absolutely crystal.
And here we go. Here is the footage from Arkansas, from Derek's equipment. There you go, crystal clear. Because if there were clouds, we would be able to see kind of like little wisps of movement across this footage that we're seeing right here on the screen, correct?
You would think so, yeah.
Okay, I think I recall that from the annular eclipse this past
Yes,
fall.
yes.
Something to that effect. Yes, we could see, things passing over the sun.
Yeah, so high level clouds, you'd still be able to see a pretty spectacular show, but man, the skies are crystal right now.
Nice.
And on my side, it just ate the first solar spot.
Okay, let me
Ooh.
highlight your. There's
see.
Isabel's footage.
This
Just
there's
ate
still
that
a-
solar spot.
There's still a couple crumbs, Isabel. I beg to
Yummy,
differ. There's a
yummy.
couple crumbs on that. I see it. Oh, they're going away.
I know.
They're going away.
But I don't think, unfortunately, it'll go that far.
They're licking the
It'll
plate
stop
there.
eating before that. Yeah.
Licking the plate. It's all gone.
All right. So I don't want us to lose this question. And Jason, who is modeling how to properly use a pair of ISO eclipse glasses, he alluded to this question. The last question we had from one of our students at Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School, local here in Sanford, Florida.
Hi, I'm Tia, and why have people always feared solar eclipses?
So that's Tia. Why have people always feared solar eclipses? So as a librarian, I did a little bit of research on this, but Terry, Isabel, John, Sean, do you have any insight into this?
Well, this
Jump
is
in.
not proper information. It's just my feel is that without the scientific knowledge that we have now, the sun was often seen as a god, right? So when it's obscured, it could be meaning that something ominous is coming, and I think it would instill fear in people way back when the sun was considered a god, and many civilizations have used the sun and considered the sun as one of their gods. So the sun being obscured is probably something very worrying. But I'm sure there are some proper sources that talk about this in different, civilizations.
Yeah. Terry or Sean, do you have any? Sean, you're on mute. Or maybe you're talking to a student, but do you have anything to add for that? Oh, he's dipping out. He's talking to a student. That's good. We have engagement here in person.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that a lot of the stuff with that has to do with the Pueblo Indians in the Southwest saw it as an omen. There was the Anasazi Indians. There's a lot of things that go around with those cycles in those areas and why they were displaced, believing in that stuff. Also, you'll find in a lot of sci-fi films, usually they associate them with comets. So, I mean, if you're a Broadway fan, remember that's how Seymour 2 Audrey 2 came to life, was because of an eclipse and all that other fun stuff too. So there's a lot of history that's tied to ancient civilizations and everything with that, which is really quite impressive.
Okay. Terry, anything to add?
Yeah, for the folks in this area, I tell you, there's a real fear, just bizarre conspiracy theories. For a fact, the man who lives at the bottom of this hill, I'm being serious, has on a aluminum foil hat right now, and will not go outside. And we've talked with him. The fear is real.
Terry, we need footage. We need
footage. Just invite him on the
Footage or
show.
it didn't happen,
Bring him
Terry?
on. Bring him on. Tell him we can't
Bring
pay
him
him
on.
anything. But yeah, we need a picture of him in the foil hat. That'd be great.
Right now,
Okay,
that guy's
hey, I
keeping
mean,
extra people from showing up.
Well, this is a reason to sift through your information.
That's
What
right.
is the authority? What's the credibility? We need to be weary of who and where we're getting our information. As librarians, we will preach this till the end. Okay, John, what's going on over there, John? Any updates? Any news? Okay, we'll see if John has anything in particular going on.
He's probably got
Okay.
10-15% coverage so far. I'm not
Okay.
sure how much of that you can see on my screen.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
can see it.
You can see some of that.
I hear some voices in the background, so people are starting to get excited, or what's
yeah,
what's the tone?
we got a crowd. We got a crowd.
Nice. Okay, so again, here's Arkansas right here. So Terry, is Derek over there?
Derek-
Is he talking
Derek
with people? Is he getting his equipment?
Derek has returned from checking out all the equipment and visiting with the family and things. So
Nice.
he is going to look at one last piece of equipment before he hops back on here. We
Okay.
are at this moment we are about 14 minutes out. So it
Okay,
is
14 minutes out.
yeah, it is getting very close.
All right. Well, wave us down when we need to highlight something, okay? We had a viewer ask how hot the sun is and what temperature is the moon. And then we had another viewer respond back, sun is roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Does that check out?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
On the surface. Now, the corona that we're about to see is going to be a couple of million degrees Fahrenheit. So that's a piece of the thin atmosphere that we normally don't get to see. But whenever a total eclipse occurs, we do get to see that very hot atmosphere.
I think I may have had, I won't be able to show it. I will only able to show it after. So if it is true, I will share it with you guys. But I think I may have seen an ISS pass over the sun because it happens in a few seconds. It's not even a few seconds, a split second. And I've seen it before and it looks like what I've seen before. So I can't see it now because I would have to stop my video and then go check, and it would take too much to do that. But if it indeed it happened, I will share the picture.
And when you say ISS, International Space Station?
Correct.
Okay. I was like, I got that one right.
All right. So what did I miss? I heard about something about ISS.
I don't know. I just saw something cross the sun very fast, and I've seen this before, and it really looks like the ISS has crossed past the sun. I don't have the ISS schedule, so I can't tell, and I cannot stop my video. I don't want to do that. So,
Sure,
but if it did happen, I will take a screenshot of that, and I will share it with you guys post stream.
All right. We want to go ahead and show my view here because it's getting pretty eclipse. Look at that.
Woo.
My goodness. Look at that. Almost there. We are where are we at? T minus what? 11 minutes. 11 minutes, folks.
Yes.
11 minutes. So I just want to let all of you know that pretty close to totality. I'm gonna get really on game mode here. So I might actually disappear for 4 minutes. But you all enjoy
because of the eclipse. Because of the eclipse.
Because of the eclipse. But I'll come back. I'll come back. I promise. I come back.
Okay. We have a lot of students watching. There's a lot of students. You say you're going to disappear from the eclipse. I don't want to.
No, I'll come back. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. I will come back. I will return. It's definitely feeling a lot cooler. The lighting is getting very strange. It's it almost looks like there's if some of us here, especially in Florida, are used to fire smoke. You know, when there's usually a fire, pretty decent fire, and that blocks the light of the sun, it gets that kind of muted, kind of like reddishy tone to it. That's what we're experiencing right now. And I want to let you all know right now, it is crystal clear here in Arkansas right now. There's not a single cloud in the sky. This is amazing wonderful. To be able to have this. Yeah.
So you're gonna switch view with another device, another telescope once you get to totality.
No, so I have the ability to zoom in though on it because I'm using another camera right now, another telescope to do the photography. So again, roughly about 30 minutes in, I'm going to have to jump out and take the filters off and do all this stuff in order for us to actually catch that eclipse moment there.
So, okay, so we have several minutes. So I think we probably should go with a word from our sponsor. Stay tuned. Oh. That's not our sponsor.
What? Could be for next time.
Not brought to you by Crusties.
Oh, thank you, Crusties.
Have you ever needed an adhesive, lubricant, and all-purpose cleaner at the same time? Well, today is your lucky day. Hi, Cargo Bay's here for Mars Goo. Mars Goo is like WD-40, duct tape, and zip ties all rolled into one inside an easy-to-use plastic container. Mars goo was discovered by NASA in 1976 aboard their Viking 2 Martian lander. Mars goo has been NASA's best-kept secret for the past 4 decades. Until now. Now we're here on the streets to see what real people think about Mars goo. Excuse me, miss. Do you goo?
Yes, I do.
Now, what do you use Mars goo for around the house?
Well, I use it for a lot of things. I use it to clean the toilet. I've used it to clean the bathroom with. I've used it to clean my roommate's kitty litter box. I've actually used it to cheat on tests. I go fishing with it sometimes. I've made repairs in my car with it. It's really great.
Now, how long have you been using Mars goo?
Well, I'd say ever since I saw it on TV. So
Amazing. Well, thank you. That's Mars goo. Do you goo? You've seen what Mars goo can do for you around the house. So now you may ask yourself, how much for this revolutionary product? Well, for a limited time only, we're offering Mars goo for an introductory price of just $19.95. But wait, there's more. Call within the next 20 minutes and we'll give you not 1, not 2, but 3 containers of Mars goo, lubricant, adhesive, and all-purpose cleaner for just $19.95. Here's how to order.
To order Mars goo adhesive, lubricant, and all-purpose cleaner, please call 1-800-404-1985. Again, that's 1-800-404-1985. We accept checks, money orders, and all major credit cards. Mars goo. Do you goo? Not legal in 49 states.
Not legal in 49 states. It must be legal in Florida.
Yeah, I'm on hold right now with my order. I have my credit card standing by.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you right now that
use a money order.
I'm telling you right now, the duct tape feature on that is spot on. We're actually using it right now
for
the solar filter that Carl has. We're using Mars
Okay,
goo.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
What time
We're
are we
getting
at?
closer. Just a few minutes away.
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Brittany's
we
got
have
a
a question
question
from some school kids. How did we know the solar eclipse was happening today? How can we predict an eclipse?
Yeah, so it's actually not that difficult to predict eclipses. We have a pretty good understanding of the orbit of the sun, the moon, and the planet Earth. And so what we could do is we go in there and we go, okay, well, we model that. We build a very elaborate computer model to simulate the orbits of those objects. And we find out that on this time, on this date, the eclipse will occur.
Getting pretty fingernaily there, Derek. It's getting
That's right. In fact, actually, I think I'm going to go into zoom in mode. Hold on.
Zoom.
Yes.
Nice.
So I'm going to try to line it up in such a way where we can really see that Bailey's beads kind of, that kind of the chromosphere, all that stuff happening during the eclipse.
Is the chromosphere in the same place as the corona?
No, it's actually the lower atmosphere of the sun. So you have the photosphere, which is what we call the surface, but it's really not the surface. It's just the highest level on the surface of the sun. Of basically, sun's nothing but a giant ball of hydrogen gas, essentially. And above that is that chromosphere, which stuff kind of get lifted up from those magnetic fields, and it kind of gets jumped up into that layer, and then above that is the corona.
All right, and that was from that question from originally from Lake Mary Elementary students. So
nice.
You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Wakeland's popping back in with his
I'm gonna
students.
go check it out.
Outside. Okay.
Okay.
So literally, we are looking at the sun right now on this footage that Derek has. Hey, Mr. Wakeland.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Are you guys headed outside at Goldsboro
Yes, we
Elementary
are.
School?
Actually, we have some of our friends outside right now.
And they have their glasses. Yep, we see their glasses there.
Put them on and then look up.
Put them on. Remember, I told y'all.
Bright light right now. Find a spot and then look up. Glasses are on. I can see it moving. It's the red moon. Hi,
All right, that's some of our local school kids here in Sanford, Florida. And looks like I'm going to highlight where John is in New York. Okay.
The luminosity has already started. I was under my patio, so I couldn't see it. But outside, it's starting to look really different. The luminosity is completely different. It's starting to look a little weird.
Okay, and I'm imagining that's what Mr. Wakeland students are seeing over here in Sanford, Florida at Goldsboro Elementary School.
Yeah, it is darker here.
Is the temperature different than it was a few minutes ago, Mr. Wakeland?
Yeah, it does feel a little cooler with the sun being covered.
All right, awesome. Looks like they're having a good time. John, how are you doing over there in New York?
We're getting there. It looks like we're at about maybe 30-40% coverage so far. So everything's going well. The kids over here are putting their glasses on and getting excited.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you all, everybody, right now. It is getting dark and kind of spooky outside right now. Mike, you can kind of see. Unfortunately, my camera is overexposing, but you can kind of see back behind me. It's getting a little bit darker, and it's getting a little chillier. It's getting a little cooler now. I'm a little whoa. It's a little chilly. We are at 3 minutes. About how much time, Kyle? 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Woo! That is awesome.
Rhea,
It's a very
what's it look like up there?
it looks like the moon, but orange. What happened? What is happening? It looks like a blood moon. Hello.
That's awesome. All right. Now we're looking at this little sliver here. I see Derek's
it's
popped
almost
up.
there.
Yeah.
Almost. Pencil thin, almost. Maybe a Sharpie thin.
It's just crazy to me that literally this is us, like we're looking at the sun. Like that's the sun.
I know. And when you think of the odds for the moon to be the right size and the right distance from Earth to create that.
Hey, isn't it true? I didn't sift or fact check. I read it in one place only. The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, and it's has to be, it's like 400, it's like a ratio of 400.
Yes.
And so that's why it's like sitting in the perfect spot. Okay.
That's correct.
400 is the magic number for the total.
400 is the magic number. Yes. It's crazy. Otherwise, we would have an annular eclipse or partial, but to have that, it has to be the perfect size and distance.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Jason, what are you experiencing where you are? You're in down South Florida.
Yeah, so I'm
East Florida.
I'm in West Palm Beach, and now we're all clouded up. I saw it a couple of moments ago when I popped out a little bit with the glasses, but it's all clouded up now, and I think it's a little cooler to answer everyone.
And look, you see that darkness down there? There it goes.
There it goes.
You see that? It's the middle of the day. Total eclipse right there. We can't really see anything on Derek's footage in Arkansas, so I'll go ahead and solo out his view of where he was just sitting there. Sunny day, crystal clear clouds, crystal clear, no clouds. We've got that totality hitting in Arkansas, where the planetarium director, Derek Demeter, is located right now as we speak. The moon is directly in front of the sun, completely blocking the sun. Yes. Derek After Dark.
Yes. Good call.
Love it. Amazing.
It's kind of, you're kind of speechless.
What else can you say?
I think everything is being spoken for.
Oh wait, I have a little wait. Bring back the sun. We want that sun back when we get a chance.
You know, with the students who were asking the question earlier, how do we know that there's going to be an eclipse? And, you know, with all the media coverage, and it's been in the news almost every single minute this past week. For those who were unable to get the memo, this might be a little perplexing for them, and maybe quite scary to just be driving down whatever highway, Arkansas, wherever, and just being like, oh, hey, oh, is that today? Oh, was that eclipse today? You know, I totally forgot, but now I'm clearly seeing it. You imagine somebody didn't know what was going on? Can you imagine in the older years and the yesteryears? Oh, those are the kids.
That's why. Oh, they're going crazy over here in Sanford, Florida, at Goldsboro.
All right, we're starting to get a little sun here. I'm gonna go and poke around.
And we have Derek's footage in Arkansas pulled up, highlighted back on the screen. You can't see much, but you can see, and maybe Isabel, you can recall, what's that term again? Is that the corona that we're seeing ever so faintly behind the moon here in Derek's footage? There's the corona, and I forget that other term because I haven't heard those terms a lot, and I don't know a lot about astronomy, so they easily fly away from my brain.
Chromosphere corona. This is the corona.
Okay.
Oh my God, look at that.
Ooh.
This is amazing.
He's zooming in.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. There we go.
Look at this over here. Yeah. Wow. That is crazy.
Now, is that like a solar flare? What is that?
Yeah,
What's that?
that's what I
Okay.
would, yeah.
Okay.
And you can only see it with your own eyes when there is an eclipse. Otherwise, you need filters and on scopes, but the only time you can see it with your own eyes is when there is a solar eclipse.
Okay. I wonder how cold it feels there. They're obviously all enraptured.
Yeah.
In the moment. They're in Arkansas, so we can't get any. But I'm sure they'll report back.
It's starting to lift already a little. Yep.
Okay. Because it's only a matter of minutes. We just have a few
Yeah,
minutes.
4 minutes. That's it. Wow.
And you can see that behind Derek there in his laptop footage. You can see, okay, the sky. Oh, it's just that little bit of lift, and look at the sky brighten there in Arkansas.
Wow.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Man,
that darkness.
Flip back to that one, Nicole. You can see to the Arkansas shot, just to see that it's daytime again.
Yep.
Right. So that was it. That was the snapshot.
Boom.
Darkness in the daytime for a couple minutes, and then back. Wild. And again, I'm just thinking of the person or the random people who did not know that was going on.
You know they're out there. You know they're out there.
I'm thinking years and years and years ago, we were talking about when the oldest one was, and as Sean was, Professor Greeny was saying, you know, there's a lot of maybe religious aspects or you know, but back in the day, that must have been wild. They didn't have the glasses. They didn't know what was going, you know, and again, if that were to happen, that's got to be a monumental shift.
I mean, really,
right?
like terrifying, right? Because things that we don't know information about can very easily make us scared. Terrified.
Yeah, you'd be scared. You'd think maybe the universe is mad at us.
Oh my gosh, everybody, that was absolutely incredible. Holy moly. Wow. I'm just on an adrenaline rush right now, everybody. I'm sorry.
Walk us through it. Yeah, keep going.
It was just incredible. I mean, it got just dark. You could see the planets. You can see it got very cold, and just seeing the corona and seeing the view of the corona was just astronomically amazing. Just what a wonderful opportunity. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm just like the rush went in, and now I'm just like, it's just all that work, all those months, all that just preparation for this is just pointed out. Unfortunately, though, I think I lost some of the photos I took of the eclipse, but that's okay because my biggest focus today was to show the live stream and the experience real time. That was my #1 goal. So I'm just happy so many people could join us today and be here to watch this in real time. Incredible.
Wow. Thank you, Derek.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in Florida, we will be at maximum obscuration at 3:05 our time, so in about 7 minutes.
Yeah, Derek, it's so interesting, even just to hear you, because we obviously couldn't see you, right, because of the blackout. And now with your energy even coming back, it sounds like you went somewhere else. You're like, oh my God, you guys, this just happened and I'm back. It's like, where?
I was definitely in the eclipse zone. I can tell you that for sure. I was in the eclipse zone, and what an amazing experience to be here, especially to see everybody and the reaction and all that. But I will not lie and say that I got a little bit. I was just on go mode to make sure I got the photos, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it is one of those things when you're trying to control so many things at once. We'll see what happens. But again, I'm just so glad I could show you all this, at least the best I can from here in Arkansas.
Hey, you did a great job. You delivered.
It's Derek the Astro Boy.
That's why you're Derek the Astro Boy.
Not just a clever title. It is reality,
It's
folks.
literally the truth.
It is
yeah.
reality.
So I believe Florida should be getting close to maximum eclipse at this point.
Yeah, we are about 6 minutes away from maximum obscuration at 3:05. So, yeah, it won't be as spectacular as you, obviously, because
that one prominence. I don't know. Did you all see that? I was trying to move the camera around. That one prominence was just absolutely breathtaking to see, and I got a chance to look at it with my binoculars for a few seconds, and just being able to see the corona and see the prominence in real time, it was just, oh my gosh. And I tried to look around for the planets, and I tried to see, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just look at the sun, because this is, they're going to be there later. But it was just a amazing, just super wild experience. So
wonderful, and thanks for sharing with us.
And thank you all for coming out here and sharing that. And we're going to hang out here and see Isabel's maximum extent. And John, I think I'm going to let you enjoy the eclipse and not have to worry about doing too much after that. How about that?
and John, he has some like choppy service and stuff like that. So yes, he's taking it in his in where he's at.
For sure.
And I apologize in advance if you hear some barking, but my dogs are outside and they get excited by the eclipse too. So if you hear some woof woof, we're close to maximum obscuration. That's what it means.
The kids, it's a vibe over at Goldsboro Elementary Magnet School here in Sanford, Florida.
I love it.
They're laying on the ground.
Did we ever talk about what Goldsboro is? What kind of magnet school it is? Because it's
math
pretty
and
cool.
science. Yeah, math and science. And they've got the space lab there.
They have a space lab. Yeah, for those folks that are in Seminole County, if your kids are into space, you need to get with them, because I wish I had that kind of feature when I was a kid. It's just a truly amazing facility, for sure.
All right, we have a couple more minutes here, Florida.
Yeah.
3:02. All right, I'm going to pop out and take a look.
All right, I'm going to just look up my little window. It's in between buildings, but hey, let me see what I can see.
Actually, I was wrong. It's 303 the maximum, not 305. So it's like in 1 minute. My bad.
We got clouds.
There's definitely like a duskiness, I would call
Actually,
it.
303 the maximum and not 305. So it should be any second now.
Okay.
Sun's poking through.
Again, this right here is
After
Isabel's
that,
footage.
it will be receding.
Okay. This is Isabel's footage on the screen. She's in Orlando, Florida, in Lake
I have
Buena
a
Vista.
303 on my clock right now, so it was 303.
All right, there it is.
So I think this is it.
This is it. This is the Pac-Man eclipse of Florida.
I think this is as far as we will go. I will continue on my side.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
think Isabel, I think
I'm
during
here,
the
I'm here.
maximum, I think on the maximum total for the eclipse for Florida, I think you got pulled into the eclipse zone too. I think
I know this.
you
It
got
took a while.
dropped off for a second. No, probably everybody's taking photos and uploading them to it's quite amazing.
It's really
Everybody
cool.
out there and just enjoying the story. I again went from pure adrenaline to body is finally and I'm like this is just again an amazing experience. Wow. And it just happened so fast. Just so fast. I was like, oh, I have 4 minutes, and it's like 4 minutes passed, and I'm like, oh, it's over. It's almost over.
I know.
Who's
But next
Derek?
time
Do
it's
you know
6
someone
minutes,
named
right?
Henry?
I do know somebody named Henry. Well, I do, but I don't know which Henry it is.
Hello.
Henri?
Oh, I don't know this. I don't know this Henry. I'm sorry. I do not know this
Oh
Henry.
my goodness.
But
From South Africa.
all right.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, all right.
You got the private join link from South Africa. Okay.
How are you? You missed
Very
it.
well, thank you.
You missed it.
I can see that.
That's okay. But this is recorded on YouTube, so you can rewatch it at any time.
That's right.
All right.
At
Thank
Seminole,
you.
at Seminole Planet on YouTube. So anyone that's watching right now, including Henri, can watch the replay, watch the footage of Derek in Arkansas and that Path of Totality and the 2024 Total Eclipse. Like, share, subscribe at Seminole Planet on YouTube. And again, also follow the planetarium on social, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook at Seminole Planet.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Well, with that being said, good luck, everybody. We'll see you hopefully in 2045 for the total eclipse right over Central Florida. So we'll be doing this live there. But until then, have a great one, everybody.
And
we'll
before
see
we
you
wrap
later.
up, thank you to Nicole Sotak and the library for
Yes.
producing all of this. Thank you, Nicole.
Absolutely.
Right, hey,
Fantastic job.
It's always
do.
a good time.
Wonderful
All right.
job, everybody, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Derek. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.